Happy Monday. We are here in Arizona.
Tempe, Arizona.
Yes, Tempe, Arizona, with William Eaton, great builder of some fantastic instruments.
Oh, thank you.
And player, and we're just going to have a little jam.
Let's have a jam.
Yeah.
We're just making this up, right?
Yep.
This reminds me of a song. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank a bowl up. She put the lime in the coconut, drank a bowl up. She put the lime in the coconut, drank a bowl up. She put the lime in the coconut.
She called the doctor, woman.
What'd she
I
say?
said, doctor,
Ain't there nothing I can take
take us a doctor.
to relieve this bellyache?
I said, doctor,
Ain't there nothing I can take? I said, doctor, to relieve this bellyache. Now, let me get this straight. You put the lime in the coconut, you drink a bowl. You put the lime in the coconut, then you'll feel better. Put the lime in the coconut, drink a bowl up. You put the lime in the coconut, then you'll feel better. Ain't there nothing I can do? I said,
doctor,
relieve this bellyache. I said, doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, doctor, you're such a silly woman. Relieve this bellyache. Nothing I can take. I said, doctor, to relieve this bellyache. I said, ooh. I said, ooh. Call the doctor up. Drink a bowl, put the lime in the coconut, then you feel better. Put the lime in the coconut, drink a bowl up and put the lime in the coconut. Call me in the morning, don't wake me up. Nothing you can do. I don't think you'll wake me up. Call me in the morning.
I bet a lyre has never been played this way. Do you call it a lyra or a lyre?
This is a lyra,
Lyra.
or it's pronounced lyre as well. An ancient instrument. And
Yes.
this was adapted, or the original ones were made with tortoise shells, gourds. And this shape here is reminiscent of what you'd find on an animal, the horns of an
Oh, the
animal.
horns.
So the early ones were built with a bison horn, water buffalo, ibex, different animals depending where you were on the planet. And then the shell was made from a gourd or tortoise. Oftentimes skin was stretched across.
So I guess it would be hunting cultures.
Hunting cultures. And thousands of years later, the Greeks made this into a famous instrument that we call the lyre or lyra.
Yes.
And those instruments took the iconic shape of this. And now we see.
And you built this?
I built this one. This is made from maple. This is burl grain maple. So, and the sound hole is quite unique. I had designed it. I book matched cut open the pieces to join them. Originally, this was going to be a spruce top, and I looked at that knot hole because I thought that'll be gone, no problem. I love the wood. And I looked at the sound hole and said, that's the sound hole.
Oh, the sound hole's a knot hole.
It's a knot hole. And that's exactly, I didn't even burn it, that's just what it looked like.
Oh.
And it's funny because on the drawings I looked at, I had circles, I had ovals, I had geometry that didn't fit with the organic feel of the instrument. But when I saw the sound hole, the knot hole, and this rather than using a natural gourd, it's just tiered like a topographical map to build up the cavity shape for the lyra.
And I noticed as you were playing it, it's really tuned to a chord, and it's not in order.
No, this is. It's random,
I've never seen it.
and I have dozens of tunings, and they're all different. But this one is kind of a G or for U and F, and the octave results by dividing the string into 3 places. So just like a harmonic on a guitar, when you intonate the 12th fret, that's halfway between the total string length.
Right.
In this case, this distance here is half the total of this. So I get octaves all the way along.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice because you can play the
Oh, I didn't realize that. So this is exactly half of the string.
yes. And then it's intonated with these little pieces here. Just move those back and forth to adjust string length. So in some ways it's a very primitive instrument, but it does have intonation features.
Yes. Well, very interesting what you've done to bring that back into the 21st century.
You don't see many of these,
No.
and I have people play this because you can't hit a wrong note. I just tune it to an open chord, and because you can't really do many chord changes. So you're kind of stuck in that field. So that's a loud. When we started playing that, I said, what does this sound like?
Yeah.
Put the lime in the cook. Great song by Harry Nilsson.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to see some of your other instruments.
Okay, I'll grab one.
I'll get back in standard tuning. And well, in addition to playing and building, you're also hosting concerts at the Old Town Center for the Arts.
Yes.
And I'm happy that you invited me to play there several times.
I'm thrilled to have you. This will be is this about you?
You have had a very interesting life.
Haven't we all?
Yes. And so tell me, how did you get into pole vaulting, for one thing? So you're an award-winning pole vaulter.
Well, I don't know if award-winning is the right word. I pole vault for old guys, pole vault. So
Well, you've won certainly in your category.
well, in my younger days, I got up to 16 and a half feet, which is not a bad
Cool.
vault. But that's in the early 70s. That's hardly a standard these days. But when I took it up again,
That's higher than I've jumped.
it's up there ways.
Yeah.
And then I got interested because my son wanted to do workouts at this gym at the high school. And I inquired there, and I happened to call, and his coach was there, who's an international coach. And I vaulted with him in college. And I'm talking to the athletic director, to see if my son can use their workout facility. He hands a phone to this guy, Greg Hall. I talked to Greg, and the track coach is there, and he realized what's going on. And he gets back on the phone and says, William, we want you to coach. And I said, I haven't done this for 40 years. You don't want me to coach. Later, I found out it's really a babysitting job.
You're back into it.
But I got into it,
Yeah.
and I started jumping, and it took me, 5 or 6 years, and I finally got to the Nationals and won.
Yeah.
I've done that a couple of times,
Congratulations.
and
Great.
it's competitive, even for the old guys.
Okay, well, any pole vaulters out there?
Yeah, pole vaulters that play harp guitar.
Yes.
I know there's tons of them now.
Yeah, all of you harp guitar playing pole vaulters, greetings. Greetings. And this is just a stunningly beautiful instrument. And I love this arc here. It follows around.
Yeah, this is based on the start of this is a shaman's bow or a singing hunter's bow. So when we look at the origin of stringed instruments, they start with the the hunter singing bow. Hunter walking around, and all of a sudden he's got a very taut bow that is made likely from the tendon of an animal, the sinew, the gut that's woven together to make this, tight string on a bow. And of course, when you do that, you get a sound. And it's likely that this hunter put a bow on a hollow log and played it and said, wow, what's that sound? Because when you attach strings to an open cavity, that's how you get a harp guitar. So that's what occurred, and I'm interested in the history, tens of thousands of years, and how does that translate today? Well, I use that shape, and I overlaid that on kind of a guitar shape, and then this lyra is reminiscent of the instrument I played, so I call it a lyra harp guitar. Yeah. And so you have the high pitches and harp strings, and then the
sounds like you're in E.
yes. Where does that put you? Let me see.
That's good key.
Well, why don't we try something on this one?
Okay, so some hunter-gatherer too.
This would be a hunter-gathering song for sure. Well, let's see, what would the rhythm be? Because when you're hunting, you get into a rhythm.
fun to find where you're going on that and try to follow.
Well,
It's like,
me too, because this is a brand new tuning, so
Yes.
I really haven't learned many of the chord forms. But much of what I do with these instruments is, like this is mainly one note, two. So it's very simple chord things, but I play probably in 70 or 80 different tunings, so it kind of depends. This one is, and some of them have similarities, others are not. So that's, but the fun thing for me is to try to incorporate some of the harp strings along with what's happening on the 6-string neck as well.
well, this is certainly an inspiration, I bet, for your students. You've been teaching and running the Roberto Band School of Lutherie
Yes.
guitar building for quite some time.
This is my 48th year.
48
We
years.
founded the school in 1975, and it's right now it's just running about as good as we've ever done.
Wow. Well, what was it like at the beginning in 1975?
Oh gosh, the beginning was a different era. You know, when I was looking at guitars in that period, it was hard to find builders, Lutherans, and I kind of fell into it serendipitously looking for a guitar to buy. And this fellow was going door to door to sell a guitar he made at Juan Roberto Guitar Works, this mythological place, you know. And I almost bought his guitar on the spot, and because I was looking for a guitar. I go to this place, Juan Roberto Guitar Works, and walk into this Quonset hut. It's kind of an arch, like some metaphor of going into some other place. And I meet the proprietor there, John Roberts, and he says, "So you're here to make a guitar?"
Yeah.
And I looked at him, you know, kind of curiously, and said, "No, I came to look at a guitar to buy." But what he asked with that question kind of stuck with me. And he didn't have many guitars to look at, so there was guitars strewn around, hanging from this inside this Quonset hut. They were in process, and it was called Juan Roberto Guitar Works, Build Your Own Guitar. So the people in there were there to make their own guitar. And I went home that evening, and I remember on the drive back thinking, when we have this chance to do this again.
Yeah.
I'm attending ASU, the college in Tempe, and I'm a junior with another year to go, and I think, oh, I'm going to make a guitar. Called him up a day or two later. He said, "Come down and we'll get you started." So that's my first 6-string, and I started in 71, finished in 72. So that was my start, introduction into guitar making. The difference between the guitars we make now for the students in that era is quite different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were, but they had a character to them, I would say that.
Yeah. Well, you have students now that have gone on to become famous builders.
So proud of our
Yes,
students. We have close to 3,000, and we actually do have some of the, what in my mind, some of the best custom makers in the world. You know, names like Michi Matsuda, Jason Costal, and Ray Kraut, Michael Bernick, Scott Walker Guitars. Check those out; they're amazing. Joe Naylor started Reverend Guitars, which is a really going company. They make lots of them, and they have some really great clients. I have a conversation tomorrow with Sergio Villanueva from Gibson. He's their head workshop. He runs the shop there in Nashville, and has quite a long history there. And they have a dozen more of our graduates there.
You know, if you come to Nashville, you have to
I've got
come
to.
visit.
I
Come
haven't
visit.
been there.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
I have to. I've been to Collings Guitars several times, and their director of the building project in Collings is one of our graduates, Steve Mel.
You have an electric harp guitar, and I
I
think that's what you were playing for the harp guitar gathering one year. You were playing that, yeah.
I may have.
Yeah,
I brought different ones each time. I have a double neck harp guitar that took to one of those, and so it's fun to bring different instruments to that because there's quite a variety, as you know. This is Mike Doolin guitar. I'm a big fan of Mike's work. It's a
Yes.
beautiful instrument, and he's really an awesome builder
Yes, yeah.
and an awesome player.
Mhm.
He's a very good musician as well.
Yeah, I'm really happy with mine.
Yeah. Well, I could grab that.
Yeah, go ahead, grab
Okay.
that. That's fine. You need help with that?
No.
Okay.
Just unplug this one.
Yeah. Well, I tend to play in Arizona about once a year, I think, and Florida every February also, if you know anyone in Florida, you know. And let's see, and California happens sometimes a couple times a year, generally in January, and it looks like it'll be in September also this year, doing our California Spring in September, and hopefully a little Paris trip. We'll see. Waiting to see if some things come through there. And you're probably pretty busy running the school and doing your concert series, so I would imagine that you don't get a lot of traveling between everything that you're doing there.
Comes and goes. I'll be going to Southern California here in a couple weeks, and then we have a number of concerts in Arizona. These ones, well, this instrument will be playing in a couple weeks with two other gentlemen that play the electric harp guitar. I built this one as a prototype, and then a few of my guys at the shop helped me make three others. And Anthony Mazzella, voted as one of the top 10 guitarists in the world by Guitar One magazine.
Wow.
He's quite an excellent guitar player. He plays one that fits you, Jenkins, and it's interesting because the scale on these is a long scale. It's kind of like your harp guitar is a shorter scale. So anything if to match your scale, I'd be coming up a whole step.
Oh, I see.
And for this guitar, to match this guitar, you'd have to, it's down, like standard E on a guitar is standard D on this guitar. So a whole step down. Let's see here.
Yeah, so I can just flip these tuning levers here and be up a half step. So that I can match you.
If we had a mixing engineer,
Yes.
because I hope I'm not playing too loud for what you're doing.
No.
She can be occasional. You play as
I'll
loud as you
find-
want, I can match that.
Okay. I'll find you.
Okay.
Sounds very gentle. Wow. Amazing instruments. So you've got your trebles both places, both on the top and the bottom. It looks like.
These are kind of mid-range, so
And then, yeah,
I have some
low
bass.
ones. Some bass
And
ones.
then-
Yeah.
and you can do a whammy, but I have to be standing up to this.
Yeah, for Japanese. I'll just try to find you wherever you are. Do you have a name for that?
The song, that's called Seven Canyons.
Seven Canyons.
I mean, it was improvised in and out of that
Oh,
song.
yes.
You did lovely on it.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant. I was listening more to you than to what I was.
No, that was just
I kept getting lost. Where am I
making the
going?
canyons go in a different direction. Yes.
You're going to Sedona tomorrow.
Yes.
You can go to Bay Canyon,
Oh.
Boynton Canyon, Longest Canyon, Secret Canyon. There's 7 of them. And each one is a beautiful hike. I was commissioned to write a piece for the Sedona Chamber music group up there in Sedona for their 25th anniversary, which featured the Amadeus Trio. It's kind of a daunting project because the pianist is really excellent.
Mhm.
And the cellist and the violinist, really great. And he had Stradivarius. He pulls out Stradivarius, the guitar version. I think there's only a few of them in the world, and he has one. So it's fun to work.
Well,
with
we should say so long, and maybe we'll jam a little bit more.
them. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. We can.
So thank you. And if people want to find out more about you, more about the school, where do they go?
Roberto Venn School of Luthery. If you do a search for Guitar Making School in Phoenix, you'll find us, but that's our title, Roberto Venn School of Luthery. And my name is William Eaton, and if you put in a search for William Eaton and guitar, you'll see some quite other instruments, different instruments that I've made. Each one is a one of a kind. So
Yeah, it's just incredible.
thanks for having me on
Oh,
this
thank you.
program.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it very much.
All right. So,